Happiness is the state of your mental and emotional well-being. It's an indication of how you feel inside out. Welcome. Welcome to Intimacy with Pamela Ewuta, and my name is Pamela Ewuta. Are you here for the first time? Welcome. So here on Intimacy with Pamela Ewuta, we talk about intimacy, marriage, and everything that has to do with relationship. If you're here for the first time or you've never subscribed, please click on the subscribe button and also on the notification button so that anytime I drop a fresh video, you will be the first to be notified that there is a new sizzling video up for you to listen or watch. So welcome once again. What are we talking about today? We're talking about happiness. Happiness within your marriage, happiness. What does happiness mean? Is happiness dependent on another person? Or what makes you happy? When you ask people, why are you getting married, or why are you married to so and so person? One of the things they say is, he or she makes me happy. Good. But do you know that happiness, your happiness as an individual, is not dependent on another person? It shouldn't be dependent on another person. You as an individual should make yourself happy. You as an individual should be able to make yourself happy because it starts from the inside outside. It is not something that you should get from an external environment or an external factor. So, according to Ruth Verhoeven, it says happiness is an overall appreciation of one's life in a whole. Happiness is an overall expression of one's life in a whole. So sometimes people say, why should I be happy? I have just flunked a test, or I've just failed at something, or I've not succeeded in something. But then you ask yourself again, have I failed totally in life? Overall appreciation of your life, when you think about your life as a whole, not as a recent event, then you'll be able to indicate if truly, inside out, your state of well-being, your emotions, you deserve to be happy. And so in appreciating yourself and saying, yes, I have done this XYZ, so I know I should be happy, you elicit, it's a positive indication of how you feel inside. That you say you carry your own weather, you carry your own sunshine, and so you make yourself happy. And you would notice that from all of this, the happiness we're talking about is independent, is indicated by one person. It is you, the person, the individual, that is able to elicit this happiness, that is able to think through it and say, yes, I am happy. I appreciate my life, my emotions, your mental well-being. I recognize my state and my ability, my coping mechanism. I've gone through all this, and you tap yourself and say you deserve more, and you make yourself happy. But people get it wrong when you now get married and say, you know what, I'm married to this person, and so XYZ is going to make me happy. And so you get married, and your spouse maybe comes late from work, and you say, oh, he doesn't love me, and so you are sad. So you become so miserable, out of so many factors, forgetting that the other person is a human being wanting also to find his own path and make himself happy. Yes, when you get married, there are plus signs, there are the benefits of being together with another person. You make yourself happy, you find joy in your little events. But first, your authentic and basic form of happiness should come from you, the individual, recognizing who you are, what you have done, where you are in life, and say, I am happy. And so even in this process of finding happiness within your relationship, you cannot overlook the self-love aspect of it. Self-love is saying, I love myself, not because I am selfish, not because I don't care about others. Because for me to bring the best of myself to this table, I must love myself first. One thing you must recognize is, whatever it is that you want to seek for from others, you must first be in the position to give it to yourself. If you seek love from your significant other, give yourself love first. Self-love. Recognize that you are worth it, that you are good enough, and that you love yourself however and whichever shape you are in. You love yourself. Then you are able to give of yourself from a place of generosity and abundance to another person. Do not wait for validation from the other person to say you are good enough. No, recognize within yourself that you are good enough. So when you're defining happiness, it talks about your mental well-being. It talks about your emotions. And so that mental well-being is saying that I have seen my ability to cope with stress, and that I'm able to function in whatever it is that I do for myself and for my community, or in a larger community. So my mental state, I understand it. Then you proceed to your emotions. Your emotions could range from your joy, your pleasantly, your flourishing, your well-being. And so it now stems down to your positive indication that I have analyzed all this and I am okay with who I am. And so you find your happiness. So if you are able to analyze yourself in this direction, you will not wait for your spouse. You will not wait for anyone to make you happy. Yes, you need to be happy and joyful and joyous in your relationship. But you must understand that if you do not have it in you, you cannot get it from another person without getting hurt. How do I mean? There are days the other person, your spouse, who is human, might not be in a joyful mood. And so just because the other person is in a sad mood, and so everything around you is gloomy, you now take in what the external environment is producing. You now become gloomy. No, if you carry your own sunshine, if you carry your own happiness, and you know who you are, if the other person is sad, then you are there to uplift the other person, to say, you know what, things can get better. But if you are always waiting for the other person to make you happy, if the other person is sad, then you are sad. If the other person is doing something that you do not like, but because you're always looking up to that person to get your happiness, to feed from, so whatever is passed down from the other person is what you will get. So you must learn to recognize that happiness, your own happiness, comes from within you first. Then in that state, you can enjoy and flourish with your spouse. Do not let your spouse be the one to indicate to you the time and when and how you should be happy. Happiness comes from inside. Own your personality. Own who you are and express yourself in the way that you know how best to. Be happy no matter what. Be happy. Make yourself happy. Yes, your spouse would indicate, different things will happen because they are human. Your spouse is human, and so he's going to feel, or he or she is going to feel differently at different times. Do not let that stop you from being happy with yourself. Do not let that dampen how you feel about yourself. Carry your own weather. Carry your own sunshine. Bring it into the relationship. Spice up your relationship with your personality. Bring yourself in fully and be present. Give yourself the gift of your presence in your marriage, in your home. Let it be felt and known that you are there. And give it all your best. And don't forget, your happiness does not depend on your spouse. Your happiness is dependent on you. Find yourself, know yourself, and be yourself, and bring your best self to the relationship. So this has been our talk today on happiness and finding happiness within your marriage and from inside out. Remember, you are the only one that is responsible for making yourself truly, truly happy. So find that happiness, find that sweet spot within you, and never beat yourself up if you have failed at one task. Evaluate your life as a whole and not in bits and parts. Happiness will not elude you if you truly look within. So until I come your way again, enjoy every bit of your week, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button.